I use this simple tracking system to double my income and build 3 six-figure businesses in just 3 years.
From chaos to control, there's probably a reason you fell short of your goals last year, and it likely has to do with your inability to track and hold yourself accountable of your progress.
What's up, guys? I'm Lou Raven.
And I'm Elise Palacios.
And we help real estate agents and team leaders scale their businesses to go from production to legacy.
Our goal is to give you one actionable step with every video, and today's all about tracking.
They say what gets measured gets accomplished, and there's so many agents that are out there just winging it. They have no idea where they are with their sales goals for the year.
If you'd like to get access to our full business plan course, hop into our free Skool community with the link below, and don't forget to subscribe to get the last of our 4-part video series about how to control your business and reach your income goals for 2025.
And within that Skool community, you'll find tons of resources, different trackers that will help you with every aspect of your business. Keep in mind, this is part 3 of a 4-part video series that's about business planning. It's a snippet from a business planning seminar that we hosted earlier this year when we had over 50 real estate agents increase their profit in just 1 day. I love this. I think this is hilarious. Elise was like so upset about this photo being here, and we fought over it. I'm like, this is hilarious. It's tracking. It's like stalking your prey. We're keeping it. And so she made me move the letters up so that way her face would be covered. So that's what we got going on here. So we're going to rip through this section pretty quickly. It's called tracking, and I don't want the speed at which we go through it to throw you into this place where you're like, this isn't that important. I mean, I hate to say it's all important. It kind of is, though. You can build the best plan in the world, but if you don't get it in your schedule and then track your results, then there's no way for you to hit it. It's like trying to drive between here and LA and not use a map or a compass. Like, it's just completely ridiculous to even try. I mean, you could get there. You would get there if you drove by the sun, I guess, and find some places to sleep along the way.
Country, you'll know that sometimes the GPS is like, turn in 636 miles, and you're like, I can save the battery for a while.
Which that's fine.
But eventually you're gonna have to make a turn and pay attention.
Okay, so use a plan and track your progress. All right, so here's real world why this matters. I told you that I went from, scaled my income from 300 up to 500 in 1 year. And then I went from effectively 0 to 150 in net profit, in net income increase in a year. And here's how I did it in both cases, separate years, obviously. I did it by having a plan and having a really simple tracker. And I've used the hardest things and the simplest things, and the simplest work. When I joined Brook Team in my 7th month as an agent, I happened to be going to a conference that same month. It had a big impact on me. It got me out of my own way. I got off the plane and I said, I'm going to sell 1 house or put 1 buyer under contract or sign 1 listing per week till the end of the year. I did it for 21 out of 23 weeks. I sold a house 21 out of 23 weeks, and I was a new agent. I let my foot off the gas because I also bought a BRRRR deal that I executed. I did a flip, I attracted 3 agents, and started helping David grow out the mentor program here at Brook Team. So the goal was no longer sell 50 houses, but I taught myself I could do it. And it's a very simple tracker. It was the number of the week, the date, yes or no, and who it was, and that was it. So simple work, so keep it simple, stupid. If this content's helpful, go to Skool.com and search for Reinvest Real Estate and join our free community. It's packed with resources just like this. Free video trainings, templates, checklists, and other tools that'll help you grow your real estate sales business. This is by far the most important tool that I'm using in my life right now. And it is so ridiculously easy that it almost it's laughable. And Adam's smiling. We were just at a conference together. He came to EXPCon with us. And somebody at the Fast Forward Movements conference, at their presentation, somebody talked about tracking their time in 15-minute increments. Here's how this works. You go to the clock on your phone. You set a timer for 15 minutes. You press go. Timer goes off. You write down what you just did in the last 15 minutes, and you repeat. And that's
Anybody
it.
just tense up at the thought of that, of
it
how
sucks.
many 15-minute
To be clear,
increments?
to be clear, it actually is pretty painful. Do you want to speak to it a little bit, Adam? You've had huge results from it too.
I did it for 5 days in a row, and I knew that I was starting it, so my anxiety, I think, was a lot higher knowing that it was going to happen. But holy smokes, the stuff that I was able to, I was able to do, like day 2, day 3, I was like, all right, I can't spend time on that, can't spend time on that. Also, my alarm kept going off, and so I think people thought I was like, it allowed me to see where I'm wasting so much time. I put one of my goals as, I need a driver.
Hell yeah.
So much time driving.
Badass.
You have, let's say, an 8-hour workday. How much time you spend driving? Let's say from Avon to Manchester.
Yep.
That alone, like what you can do in that time, it was pretty eye-opening.
That is a huge insight. I didn't set him up for this, by the way, but that was like the perfect setup to the next thing I'm going to say. Is using this tracker will bring more awareness to what you're doing, and it will also make you more efficient. And when you get more awareness on what you're doing, you can then make changes structurally to your day, your business. I was thinking about the team that I hire and who's kind of working for me as an admin support staff, but a driver, I mean, holy shit, that's like next level stuff right there. 15-minute tracker, do it. There's a QR code later on, you can grab it in Skool.
The first way, I think we should backpedal. The first time we really heard about somebody doing this was 3 years ago, another big event. And this guy duct taped a GoPro to his chest.
Oh, yeah.
So there are other ways beyond setting 15-minute timers on your phone.
So Justin Nelson, who owns Sphere Rocket?
Everything. His bathroom time, everything. And then he sent it to his VA to go through and watch him scroll in his phone while sitting on a toilet and whatever else he did. And he came to the same conclusion.
Well, it was facing out. It wasn't like he was like filming himself on the toilet. He was strapped on his chest. Okay, you get the idea.
It's the same thing.
There is accountability at all levels, and that's the most extreme version.
And he came to a few conclusions similar to Adam: driver, personal chef, and figuring out where his dollars were best spent and what was the best and highest use of his time. So I think it's really cool to see it such a high level, broken down into a very actionable way, where how many people in this room did that in the last few weeks? I know there are several of us.
What, film
Jordan,
myself?
No, the 15-minute tracker.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan did, Kristen, you did also, right? I know Sean did. How was it when you first started? Was it similar to Adam?
It was like a good anxiety. Like every time it went off and I knew I wasn't doing what I was
Shrieked in terror and Stop and Shop?
A little bit, but it kind of like put me back on track of what I should be doing during that time.
Awesome.
Like lead gen, maybe I get distracted on my phone, I'm like buzzing, I'm like, all right, get back to it, get back to it. It was actually good because I get distracted easily, and it was like helped me focus so much more, and like I got so much more work done when I had the alarms going.
Love it.
And I had them, like I live with roommates, so like I had them going until like 10 o'clock, and they're like, why does that thing keep going off? Like, it's just for something I'm doing at work, and like, turn it off.
I love it. So how I'm using it right now, it's good to do it for a time and track and get some like changes that you could make. I'm using it weekly on my admin and my high impact days. So the way I structure my time is I have days that are just meetings, and that'll be it for the entire day. There's no point in using the tracker then. But my high impact days are when I'm doing my lead generating, creating content, writing the book, prepping for the summer, all that. I'm doing that in 15-minute increments, because let me tell you how easy it is to get lost on stuff that doesn't matter.
And not even social media and silly things, but just
like
different
real
projects that aren't necessarily what you were trying to get done in that hour.
Absolutely. Monthly tracker, similar concept, obviously on a 30-day basis. This one's great for changing habits or reinforcing habits that you may have fallen off with. I fell off of using this tool, and it cost me dearly in the form of lost time and whatever. I won't go into all of it. This one's really easy. You just write down what you want to do, and you put a check mark on the day if you did it or not. So these two trackers live on my desk, blank copies, so I can just sit down and use them and get going right away. And finally is the sales pipeline tracker. This is like the 3.0 of the system that I used initially to sell 21 homes in 23 weeks. This is also in Skool for you for free. This sales pipeline tracker is broken into 2 different pages on the slides. The top part outlines, you say what the name of the client is, if they're a buyer or seller, their price point, lead source, and their motivation. It's extremely important that you have motivation in your tracker. If you use a different format, fine, I don't care. But just make sure that somewhere you're keeping track of the client's motivation. An A client is somebody who will transact in the next month. A B client will transact in the next 2 or 3 months, and a C client is 6 months or further out. And I've talked to a lot of agents, and walked through their pipeline and found that they're spending too much time with C clients and not enough with A and B. You should spend 40% of your time with A clients, 40% with B, and 20% with C clients. There's just some things that you're just not going to move some people along to buy faster. So don't waste your time. If you have anxiety over, oh, why isn't this person doing something, or you're trying to push them further, your pipeline is not full enough. Simply put, you need more leads. So this will help you systematically move people through the buying process from B to A and A to under contract, and that's how you sell a shitload of real estate. Here's the bottom of that. This is your breakdown. All the math is done for you. It gives you your percent of A leads, B leads, and C leads. I love this stuff, all right? So it gives you the volume of each lead that you have, what the percent is, and then you can easily compare it to your day and the work that you're doing and say, am I spending enough time where I should be? So this is more of a macro look, where this one is more of like a person-by-person, tactical, how am I gonna move through and get sales. And the last part, I added this like last minute, and I think this makes a lot of sense, right? The buyer to seller ratio. So what percent of your business are buyers and what percent are sellers? If you've been doing this for a little while, you know that sellers are 3 to 1 more efficient time-wise than working with buyers. And you can also get more leads from marketing listings, either for buyers or other listings. So we should be spending a lot of time working on listings. And in this example, the split is about 70-30 for this agent. My suggestion is to work that to 50-50 as soon as possible. I usually get agents there in about 2 years if they're brand new. And then we're at 75-25 by year 3, year 4. And it's a really, really healthy place to be to sell a lot of real estate and not doing a lot of time. If this video was helpful, join our free community on Skool.com, search for Reinvest Real Estate, and you will get tons of value and information both from the community, who contributes actively and helps solve real estate agents' problems, and from other free trainings and resources that we have available for you. See you there.